Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here we from Group 1 will read out the result of the summary of the English course and the implementation of rights for education Indonesia. The need for education is more than necessary, a global statement like Nelson Mandela on on-site that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. There is no doubt that education is needed by all human beings. Without education, at least basic education, it is difficult for people to actually participate in the era of globalization and achieve the opportunities provided by it. The rights to education in international human rights instruments. There is no dispute that the right to education is a universal right. It can be found in a variety of international human rights instruments in terms of declaration and treaties. It is that the right to education is recognized internationally. First of all, the right to education was enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. It is one of the most important international human rights instruments in addition to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights of 1966 and the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights of 1966, often referred to as the International Bill of Human Rights. According to Klaus Derterbiz, article can be seen as the most important formulation of the right to education in international treaties. Insurance is a treaty-based human rights instrument that's been the referred status parties. It was adopted in 1966 and then entered into force in 1976 as of April 2012. Congress have recognized the increased education that most of the UN member states are now interested. States parties have an obligation to respect, protect, and to fulfill economics, social, and cultural rights, including the right to education. That shall do summit of report on the measure taken to implement ensure there is a monitoring body to enforce the measures taken to implement ensure there is a monitoring body to enforce the measures taken the implementation of by state parties. It is possible to bring individual complaints about violation of economic, social, and cultural rights committed by state parties to the protocol of the Committee on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. The committee also has the authority to analyze the reports of state parties. Indonesia has Indonesia has revealed the above international human rights instrument was revealed on September 30, 205 on May 25, 1999. The International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination for Race was ratified on September 13, 1984. The was ratified on October 28, 1998. The International Convention on the Protection of the Rights of All Migrant Workers was also ratified on 13 April 2012. Indonesia ratified on Oktober 18, 2011 and UNDRIP on September 13, 2007. All the above international human rights instruments affirm the organ of the rights to education. It may be asked why the rights to education is so important. The Center for Economic and Social Rights explained that worldwide an estimated million people, or 1/6 of the world population, are illiterate. Millions of children have never attended school. About million migrants are forced to drop out of school before the rest. Basic literary and numeric skill usually are forced to drop out of school before the really basic literary and numeric skill, usually because their families are too poor to keep them in school. Education has been encouraged as a fundamental human right, essential to human dignity, but widely rejected worldwide. For many, education remains privileged rather than and right. The poor are included because the court cannot pay, but without education, the poor will never escape poverty. The right to education is not only a matter of meeting basic human needs, developing human resources, of achieving socio-economic development goals, but also a matter of serving the rights protected by law. Since the right to education is a human right formulated under law, the international treaties or national constitution, a country has an obligation to abide by the rights of to education. There are types of obligation to state parties to human rights. The rights to education, namely the obligation to respect, protect, and fulfill. The obligation to respect requires that states to abstain from continuing sponsoring of totalitarian policies of legal action that violate the integrity of individuals of their freedom to use material or other resources available to them in a manner they deem most appropriate to fulfill the rights to education. To measure the application of the rights education by the state, there is well-known concept this which mean waverly, appreciably, assembly, and adaptability. Development of the right to
The right
education.
to education has been constitutionally granted by the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia of 1945, which was approved by the founder of the state just one day after the Proclamation of Independence was proclaimed on August 17, 1945, on 4 years before the transfer of official sovereignty from the Netherlands on Desember 27, 1949. When the founder of the state drafted the constitution for the new Republic of Indonesia, they believed that education will be a strategic vessel to ensure that the newly independent Indonesian nation will become modern, democratic, prosperous, and with the concept of social justice based on the philosophy of the state Pancasila. Furthermore, Indonesia has amended the constitution for the times, including provision on education from 1999 to 2002 respectively. As a consequence of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution in 2002, there is now a new article on education which, among other things, states that citizens have an obligation to perform basic obligation, and the government has an obligation to fund this. The government shall manage and regulate on national education system, and the state shall prioritize the manage and regulate of the manage budget for education of at least 20% of the state budget and the regional revenue and expenditure budget to meet this. The need for the implementation of national education. The founder of the state fully realized that one of the biggest challenges for Indonesia and the newly established independent country was the health problem of education. As Justus M. van der Graaf pointed out, sparked by national ambition to make Indonesia a strong, modern country. The Indonesia government has made education one of the main goals in extensive social welfare program. The Indonesia government of the newly independent country has immediately faced the fact that there are about 56 to 60 million Indonesia who cannot read or write. Faced with such shortcomings, there is no choice but to put education as one of the priorities into the development program. As Finkelstein has put it, to meet the deficiency, the Indonesia government has started a large-scale adult education program designed to beat illiteracy over a 10-year period. Classroom and secondary school facilities are being expanded. Teacher training is accelerating and university capacity is being developed. New universities are being opened and education at higher level will be available in Sumatra and other parts of Indonesia where such facilities have never existed before. During the new order government, Indonesia has a better opportunity to accelerate the development of the education sector. This is a period in which national political stability can be well maintained for the means of economic development. Like the previous government, the next government in the new order era is also required by the constitution and the law to develop the education sector. However, the condition of national education sector itself was still underdeveloped at the time. Education is needed procedure more education in highly skilled order to develop and modernize the country. When the first new order government under President Suharto took power from President Sukarno in 1966, the government inherited the economic damage of the previous administration. The inflation rate is very high, 50% per year. This is why the fundamental mission of the new order government is to restore and grow to the economy, as well as the same time to stabilize the politics necessary to support the mission. Contra the President Sukarno economy politics, the new government with the support of economic technocrats had adopted a programmatic, non-ideological and assured approach to the economy policymaking that allowed the new government to implement a variety of economic policies fundamentally different from the former government. The result is the economic policies are extraordinary and real. In general, inflation rates are low, economic growth is high, enough and money to build infrastructure and social development, including education and relatively available. The right to education, the marginal communities and indigenous people. Although Indonesia has paid attention, the right to education throughout its post-independent history. In terms of legal framework, infrastructure and facility, there are still efforts and fulfill the right to education for all Indonesia across the country. In this not easy text to successfully apply to right education for country like Indonesia has 237.641,326 inhabitan, 365 ethnic and tribal group, 500 local language in the like and divided by 33 provinsi and 13,466 island across the country. Under the circumstances, even though government has created program country and local budget for education service, there are still Indonesia who have limited access to education and do not have adequate school infrastructure, especially the poor, marginalized, and indigenous people. The government is still unable to provide education service equally for all Indonesian people throughout the country, while Indonesia has significantly achieved basic education program for all. Illiteracy has not been completely addressed. In 2010, their literacy rate was 6%. Moreover, the alignment of university in Indonesia, UNEVAN, they are mostly in Java, in Jakarta and West Java. For example, there are 790 university. Jakarta itself has more than 300 higher education institutions. According to Hadid, this is due to several reasons, namely the number of special schools is very limited and mostly located in district capital. The cost in sending children to special school in higher than sending them to regular school, and most special school in private school, and expensive compared to regular government school. While a solution from government cannot be expected, some are start with their own effort to provide inclusive education in their regular school. In Gunung Kidul, Yogyakarta Province, inclusive education has been implemented since 2001 in 12 school and then 2 school regularly mentally retarded children. It is also been implemented on DKI Jakarta Province in 35 school and 5 regular primary school, selected as a model for inclusive education. Of government in grassroots education has stimulated initiatives from civil society to take constructive role. In this regard, two other cases, namely Indonesia Mengajar, Indonesia Teaches, and Sekolah Rimba, are also interesting to see. Granted, the government should be responsible for education service, but the public should the occasion while the government is absent from it. Otherwise, society will not have opportunity access education or improve the quality of education.
Indonesian Mengajar is an educational movement initiated by Anies Baswedan, an Indonesian education practitioner who graduated from USA. It has sent the best new graduates to remote and inland areas of Indonesia to teach 1 year in elementary school. The mission of this movement is to fill the shortage of quality elementary school teachers in the Indonesian region. One of the big problems of Indonesian education is the lack of quality teacher. In 2009, there were 75% of teachers WHO did not have a black background and another 75% of teachers will retire. In addition, the distribution of teachers is uneven. There are 21% of schools in urban areas lacking teachers, while 37% of schools in villages and 66% in remote areas. Another interesting case is Sekolah Rimba, a movement initiated by Butet Marong and Indonesia activists who hold a master's degree in anthropology from Australia. Manurung come to their place and stayed with them for several years to pursue their interest to learn to read and write after studying in this area. Then expanded to other remote areas in 2003. Sekolah Rimba has created the same program in different provinces across the archipelago, which has benefited more than 10,000 children and adults in isolated indigenous communities. The areas that have been touched in Ariana Mariso district where almost of the population is illiterate. In Awalgo Flores, where almost all people are illiterate in the Tidur Island. In Kajang district and in Munggu Batas Batu village, where more than of people are illiterate. The movement also contribution to providing access to basic education for indigenous people throughout their archipelago. Importance of the right to education as demonstration by the application of the right to education into constitution and status and the ratification of international human rights instruments as well as the creation of educational program project by the government to a considerable degree. The result of the basic course and been built, for example. However, the government has a limited ability and to some extent a lack of serious political will to work more progressively to fulfill the right to education as well to improve the quality of education for all Indonesian throughout the areas. In response to this, civil society has an constructive effort to fill the role left by the government. To be sure, Indonesia still need to work harder to development more education scholar and to overcome divisions. The reform is the hope that the new government of President Joko Widodo will be able to fill the right education for all Indonesian people and accelerate the development of education sector. Okay, thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.